Hi, welcome back to Love for Knots, a cozy knitting and crochet podcast made with love, patience, and just a little side eye. I'm Carrie, and this is a space for yarn we definitely didn't need, projects we're actively working on, and a few dozen that we're quietly ignoring. So grab your needles or your hook and just a comfy seat and let's get into it. Everything I talk about can be found in the description box below. I'll link everything that I can. Today is February 19th, and I have 0 finished objects. I have 3 WIPs that I'll be talking about. We don't have any new cast-ons yet. There's a few that are in the plans, and we'll discuss those when we get to that section. Today's couch blanket is my anthology throw that I made. I started it December of 23. It was my dandelion and dogwood advent calendar. And it's on their, I believe it's their fairy base that has the stellina in it. So, when I made this, I had watched a few other podcasters say that when they changed yarns according to the pattern, that their blanket was smaller than they wanted it to be. So I knew that I wasn't going to switch yarns when the pattern says. I used up all the yarn in the mini, and then even when I did that, like all these light colored stripes in here, that is the 100-gram skein that was the 25th day of the advent calendar. So I just used that for a couple rounds in between all of my colors. And then somewhere in here, I got tired of doing the yarn overs, the increases in the pattern when she said. So I just started doing it when I changed my yarn colors. And so it's a pretty decent size. It is my everyday blanket that I use on the couch. So it's always here with me. But we'll try and list, oh boy, a new blanket every week. We went and dropped some stitches here. Let me get this fixed real quick. So that's the couch blanket for the first week. And I really do love that anthology throw. It came out such a great size. Super happy with it. What else? Just check my notes. Make sure I didn't forget anything. No finished objects. So WIPs. The first one we'll discuss is the one I'm currently working on, my intermission project. Let me just throw it on try it on tubing here real quick so I can show you, because it is a Stephen West project. So if you know anything about that, you know that when we get to the last bit of it, what do I have? 450 stitches on, and we're doing short row mountains, as he calls it. It is the Icelandscape Shawl. It's his, did I say it was his Hyber knit along for this past winter? Which, I don't mind. I do enjoy working on these. But sometimes, you know, like I have, what was my last one? 31 short row sections to do over 400 stitches. It gets to be a thing. So there was no way I was going to get finished with this current row that I'm on before I could podcast today. So, what else? I am using his new bicycle base. It's a 2-ply fingering weight yarn. It is a non-superwash. And in this pattern, you use 8 different colors. The bicycle base that he has is 50-gram balls. So, what's that make it? Like a 400-gram pattern? Okay. We're almost there, then we'll be able to show you what it looks like, and it's not all bunched up or in the middle of a row, as that tends to be a thing. Okay. Let me just pull this one through a bit. So what are you guys working on? This is I said it was my intermission project from my Rujuu, which is my mystery yoke-along, was Jeanette. It's spelled with this Z, but it's pronounced Jeanette. Jeanette Knits. Let's see if we can spread it out yet. No. Almost. Not quite. So this is where we're at. So I'm working on these mountains. This was the first color. I am currently this far into the second color of mountains. So I've got a good section to go before I get to the end of this round. And I'm really trying to get this one finished because in the mystery knit along group that I'm knitting along with, that's why I got started on the Rujuu sweater, was everybody was knitting this in the mystery knit along group that Neil and Shauna Stitches host. And so in the middle of that, so we just are going to get clue 6, and I think there's 7 clues to the Rujuu. Clue 6 comes out this afternoon. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock, so I think 5 o'clock my time, so in 2 hours. The next clue 6 should be out for the Rujuu, and then I'll get started back up on that. But I'm trying to get this one finished because March 5th starts the next Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, which is the Mohair Mobile. I think it's Mohair Mobile. So for that one, let me just grab the yarn and we'll discuss that. So as we know, I am trying to use everything from my stash to knit all of my projects this year. So this mohair one that he comes out with, did you need 4 or 5 colors of mohair? And then 2 skeins of a fingering weight yarn. So I went and found all of my what do we call this? Our used up mohair. There's a word for this. This word is not coming to me. Our leftovers. What do we call this? There's a name. Anyway, so these are all my leftovers from mohair that I've used before. These I used in a lolodidit cowl. Was it the My Fair Lady cowl? This one is a Candy Shop Yarns mohair that I used on a Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, his October shawl. Was it? It wasn't the Twists and Turns. I don't remember which one it did, but I held that. I used that for that one. And then I have some of his mohair from last year's Hybrid Knit Along. Plus I have another lolodidit mohair. I don't remember the name of this one. I don't know if it was Yeti or if there's another color. I'll have to see if I can find it. I don't have the tag. I know that I bought this quite a while ago. And then since my mohairs are going to be all sorts of colors, I figured that the best solid yarn to go with it would be a light one. So I have two options that I'm thinking. I have a bunch of this undyed slub yarn. So that's a possibility that I'm thinking, since it's going to be a shawl and it's crazy anyway. What do you think? Do I use this one or do I just go with the undyed fingering? Thoughts? I mean, I have plenty of both. Plenty of both. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Put your suggestions down below. Love to hear why you would think one way or the other. Currently, I'm storing it in a project bag that was my paternal grandmother's bag. That's the inside of it. So yeah, that one's my first ever project bag. What else do we have to talk about? Okay, the Crooner Socks. These are by Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy. They are being knit out of a lolodidit. Let me see if I have the tag in here. Oh yeah. It's a lolodidit Christma-Ween sock set. It is Peppermint Twist. It was her September club color. It's USA sock, 110 grams, 80% superwash, and 20 superwash Rambouillet, and then 20% nylon. And it came with a mini, this here green mini, and the Crooner Socks by Nancy Wheeler. They have this little stripe on them that you could either use that as a snowflake or a flower. So you knit the contrasting color stripe, knit the next regular one, and then you go back in and put in your snowflakes. And I have just started the heel flap on this. And it looks like I'm in the middle of the heel flap. And so they're knit on my 9-inch circulars. I believe these are a size 2, 2.75 is what I knit my socks on. Yeah. So those are super fun. Just got the one going. This was one of my 12 cast-ons for the new year projects. That series that I have will be linked in the description box below. Object. My next WIP is my Rujuu. I have gotten through Clue 5, finished that up, and I have it on, try it on tubing, because I don't want to do the bind off at the bottom until I get the sleeves on and make sure that it's going to be long enough, because I don't want to have to rip that back out. And this again was knit using all stash yarn. My yarn is all non-superwash yarn from lolodidit. The black, the tanny brown, and the red were all Divine Yak, which she does not sell anymore. And the gray was Whole Lotta DK, which is a superwash or non-superwash also. And I don't think she sells that anymore either. But so for Clue 5 was this section, was the 5th color work section. And then if you needed more length, you went back and knit Clue 4 again and Clue 5, or however many motifs you needed to get length. So I did 5, 4, and 5. So I have a total of 7 color work sections. And then my 2 inches of ribbon. Yeah. So I finished that up. When did I get finished with it? Saturday? Maybe Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. It is thick and very toasty. So it'll be a nice winter sweater. Certainly not wearing it during the summertime. So hopefully I will be able to pop a few pictures, maybe a video in here of me wearing it. Like I said, that clue comes out in about 2 hours. So I'll be able to get those sleeves going, or at least we assume that we're doing sleeves next, because we've got the neck done. All we have left are sleeves. But there's 7 clues, and I don't know if the 7th clue is for the people who are doing the cardigan version, because you could either do the pullover or a cardigan version. And so with the cardigan, there's a steek panel in there. So I imagine maybe clue 7 is when they get to do their steek. So hopefully. And so the last clue for the Rujuu comes out on the 25th. And the Stephen West knit along starts on March 5th. So hopefully we'll have that sweater all finished by the time Stephen West starts. All right, no new cast-ons yet. However, the granddaughters were here yesterday. And normally when they come and stay, you know, a few nights, they bring their loveys. Well, yesterday they came and it was nap time and they did not have loveys. So I told them that, you know, I was working on making some dolls for them. And I showed the one granddaughter the little Nightfall doll I had started, and that I was going to finish it for the next time she was here. All it needs is her other arm put on and then her hat, and I would get that finished for the next time she was here so she would have a lovey. Do I know what I'm doing here? Yes, this is right. Putting my stitches back on my needles. And so then the other granddaughter said she wanted a mermaid. And I don't know if that's because last year for one of my fair entries, machine knitting is a category. So I made a mermaid doll on my circular sock machine. So I don't know if she wanted a mermaid like that, but I do have this book. Devrie Metcalf wrote this book, and I'm trying to, I think there's a storybook that goes with this. Is that right? Anyway, it has all the patterns for knitting the mermaid and the dolphin, a castle, there's a blanket, a crab. So, yes, knitting patterns based on the children's book included Joni's Magical Day at the Beach, also by Devrie Metcalf. So now I'll have to look for the book. But anyway, so I told my other granddaughter that I would make her this mermaid. And she said, okay. So I'll have to get yarn figured out for this. I think it says to use cotton yarn. Lord knows I have plenty of that. So we will get that one started. So maybe that'll be my intermission project for my next Stephen West shawl, if there is such a thing as an intermission with that one. I don't know, we'll have to see how much knitting we get done on that, huh? So those are the only two projects I have coming up or plans for in the near future. All right. Things that followed me home. Well, maybe they didn't follow me home so much as arrived in the mailbox. These are all my subscription yarns. Is that a fly in February? So let's talk about the things that came in the mailbox. This is my Freckled Whimsy. This is my last Nature's Palette yarn. This one is called The Song of a Bluebird. On her Serendipity fingering base. 100 grams and a 25 gram mini. I have really, really loved this Nature's Palette colors. Sad that it's going away. Do I have? Oh. And here is her Christmassy Volume 2, Gingerbread Kisses and Christmas Wishes. also on her Serendipity base. I had not gotten the mini to go along with these, but I sent her an email and she fixed it so that I'll be getting the 25-gram mini that coordinates with these from now on, since the Nature's palette is done. Just toss those to the side. Yarnable. February's Yarnable, which is another subscription service that I get. And I get the 50-gram coordinating mini to go along with it. It is Almost Love, and the coordinating mini is All Too Well. Very, very carry colors. You can send me the pinks all day long. And then our last one is the lolodidit. This month is the Halloween colors. I was looking to see, I put that other ball band away. The one that has the Christmas colors, so you know if it was a Christmas or Halloween just by the ball band. This one is Rattling Bones. Again, on her USA sock, that's 110 grams. Superwash USA Rambouillet and 20% nylon. So nice. So those are all the things that have shown up in the mailbox. Sorry about my little dog. He thinks it's time to come in. I tried to tell him he didn't want to go outside. It's a little cool out there today. Hopefully his barking isn't too bad. Have to go let him in a minute. Well, that's it for today's episode of Love for Knots. Thanks for spending a little time with me. If you feel so inspired, you could hit the like button, subscribe, or leave a comment if the yarn chaos spoke to you today. I enjoy hearing what everyone else is making. I hope your rows are smooth, your knots behave themselves, and your unfinished projects feel only mildly judged. Keep making things you love, and I'll see you soon.